Hello and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Eric, joined once again with Karen,
Hi.
bringing you some more Ryan's Hope, episodes 121 to 125. Merry Christmas, everyone. Tell me roll the credits and we'll chat. So yes, we're in the Christmas episodes of these Ryans here. Very lovely episodes. Caught up with some storyline progression.
Yep.
I love how they write this show. I really do. I think it's brilliant.
It was
Um,
it was so much in the beginning like of just lore dumping that it was annoying, and now that it's like found its stride, that the way they tell stories is so much better. It's so well
nothing
done.
nothing waits like
No.
that. Like I always feel like with Jill's letter, I thought that was going to be a thing, but right away it's already solved. I'm like, damn, there's just like one thing after the other.
Like keep it moving. We got story to tell.
Exactly, that's what it feels like. So the first episode, Kenneth Crank calls Faith with this creepy ass voice. He's terrifies me.
I'm afraid of him. He's
What
gonna
did
hurt
he say?
somebody.
What was he saying with that? Uh,
He basically said that his mother used to have the mirror, so like a pretty woman used to use this mirror. Now you have to use the mirror. It was like a gift. It was weird.
Yeah, and he's like, I forget what he said. Like, I was there when you were sleeping, like all these crazy things, and she's like totally freaked out as anybody would be,
Uh huh.
because all of these things are going down. And he says he has a present for her, and he's gonna drop it off at some point. She's like, ah. Jill and Roger catch up. They talk about Delia and Frank's stuff. She blames him for the mess, which it is partially her too.
Okay, yeah, sure. It's Roger's fault that you slept with a married man for 3 years. Sure, it's his fault you got caught, but you slept with a married man for 3 years. Like you did this to yourself.
Right.
And she acts all superior and like moral about it and be like, you're a hoe. Like, what are you doing?
I know. It's interesting. And Jill wants to tell Ed about it, and Roger's like, "No, I'll lose my job. Like, you can't do that because he'll go."
She's like, oh well, you stole money and you suck, so you should lose your job. And he's like, what the hell?
That's what I mean. Like everybody's like telling on each other right away. Like usually these things last like 6 months and then it comes out, but everything's like boop boop boop. Everything happens.
Nope, has to happen now.
It's really really cool because it's like so different, from what we're used to. Um, Usually it's like a whole season of shit, and then you have like twists and turns throughout.
It is crazy though, because like the older shows, right? We are so used to with the older shows the pacing being like extremely like drawn out, and it's like when you compare old Dynasty to New Dynasty, and New Dynasty feels like old Dynasty on crack. This
Right.
is like this is like the opposite. Like they have a really nice pacing, and it's like you said, we're not waiting too long for things to happen. Things are always happening.
Always happening. That's what I kind of feel like with Beyond the Gates. That's how that's written too. It's similar to that, to this storytelling. So Jill tells Ed everything. Roger is forced to tell Ed about his horse addiction, gambling thing. He's $11,000 in debt. Ed, of course, holier than thou. How dare you? I know it's a problem, but you shouldn't
Yeah,
have it.
he's like halfway. He's like, yeah, I know it's an addiction and it's a problem, but it's also a moral failing, and you suck. Roger's just like, I need help.
Help me. Faith and Pat talk about her crank call. He says, "Don't go anywhere alone. Get Bucky if you have to. Get Clem. Get whoever you got to walk your
Smart.
car. You just shouldn't be alone.
Yeah, he's
We know
like,
she's
take
going
it
to end up
seriously.
alone.
Yeah.
We know she's going to end up alone, and she's going to end up in this crypt. But anyway,
Yep.
not till the new year, probably New Year's Eve. So, and then they go to Bob Reed for help, who is absolutely no help. Nothing we can do.
That was the most accurate portrayal of a cop in a TV show I've ever seen. He was like, paperwork? No, thank you. He was like, no, it's probably nothing. I wouldn't worry about it. Get another lock. Have a good day. And they're like,
And
what?
all of these things are like they tell him about the poem, the rose, the phone call, the present. because the present didn't happen, but it happens coming up.
He's like, well, weird. Go away.
Kenneth wraps up the mirror. Maeve goes to talk to Jill, and she kind of talks her up a bit. She's like, I'm team Jill. Jill feels really guilty and beats herself up, as she kind of should for now, but whatever. She's trying to stay away from Frank, so she's doing the right thing. So we good. But Maeve just wants her to feel like, you're still part of our family. Come around anytime, whatever. Pat gets Faith home, and Faith, I think, goes to sleep, and then Kenneth opens the door, and then she has the little key lock thingy now. Or what's that? Chain lock.
Chain lock, yeah.
She freaks out, and then the mirror breaks or whatever when they open it in the next episode.
7 years bad luck, Faith. That's why you get recast so often in the future.
Oh, I really like this Faith.
Me too.
She's really good. Faith and Pat go to see Bob on this is Christmas Eve, where we find out. Then they tell him everything. There's nothing he can do. Delia arrives to talk her brother into going to the Ryans. The Ryans finished decorating for Christmas. I was never a decorator on Christmas Eve. I always like to have it like a month before because I like the whole season.
Dumb. Like you do it Christmas Eve and then you get to have it up for 2 minutes and take it down. It's a lot of work to just.
The only thing we used to do as a tradition is like Christmas Eve we would decorate our tree. That was like a thing. Now I decorate it ahead of time, but back then as a family we did it. It was kind of cool.
We don't do anything as a family. Me and my mom do some stuff, but like she's like a decorator and like she does a beautiful job on the tree. I invite a bunch of crazy people to my house to do my tree, so they're never like classic looking, but it is fun.
Bucky arrives. He and Maeve catch up a bit, talk about Nell and stuff. Pat and Faith arrive. They fill Bucky in on the craziness. They sing a little tune. Bucky and Mary talk about Faith, and they talk about sex. Johnny and Maeve talk about Mary's boyfriend choices because they're not a fan of Jack. But Maeve is open to Jack, but of course Johnny, very set in his ways, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like Maeve is like, Mary's going to do what she's going to do. So why are we trying to make the holidays miserable because we don't like Jack? Right. And Johnny's like, because he sucks and we should get rid of him. And she's like, can you not be a jerk for Christmas? And he's like, fine.
Fine. Bob doesn't want to see Frank because he's still mad at him for everything. Delia tries to sway him to come for Christmas. Frank calls Jill. She's like, don't call me. Leave me alone. We got to stay away from each other. Knock it off. She's already in her feelings. She's already guilty. You're just making things worse, Frank. Stay in your wheelchair. Seneca and Nell arrive at the Ryans. Delia and Bob come. So Bob does end up coming.
He comes and he's like, I can't promise I'll talk to Frank, but then he like shakes his hand. I am really on team. I think Bob's in love with Frank. I don't. Their friendship is very close, which is kind of normal. But also like he's more hurt that his sister's been cheated on than his sister is, and I don't know. It just feels like they all have hero worship for Frank, and he's just some dude.
Yes, they sing "Deck the Halls" after that, and then we see Jill alone at the end. I'm like, this is kind of sad. But whatever. Yeah. Next episode, Johnny and Maeve enjoy Christmas Day. Delia wakes Frank while he's thinking of Jill, of course.
He's mad to be woken up from his dream where he's with the girl he actually wants to the wife he hates. And I feel bad for Delia because Delia's trying to be cute and sweet for Christmas. And he's not having it because he decided he hated her like 3 years ago.
This is why I didn't like that Delia thinks so sadly of herself to not get a man that actually cares about her.
Yeah, I think it'll end up that way eventually because like how long can you be in a relationship with a guy that hates you?
Right.
I mean, probably the rest of your life. I don't know. You got to talk to me. If that's what you're doing, put it in the comments. Tell me how you're doing
it. Right.
I will convince you to leave.
Which Lemon Lady said that we get Kathleen in the spring.
Ooh.
Only a few months away.
Exciting.
So thank you, Lemon Lady, for that. Mary opens an ugly bag from her parents. I was like,
it wasn't ugly. It was a satchel for her stuff. It was just red leather or whatever. It wasn't that bad.
It was pretty bad. I didn't like it. But I guess whatever. It must have been the style back in 1975. Maeve says to bring Jack over later on, so she's open to that and talks Johnny into that. Baby John hates Christmas because they bring him down and he starts crying.
Oh my God, it was so funny because Frank's like, he's just going to howl. He's going to howl. Apparently, he does not like Christmas lights. He took one look at that tree and went nuts.
I feel like he looked at all the family people, like he just like was intimidated by everybody being there, and he's like, "Bah." The Coleridges have a miserable Christmas.
They're miserable people.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of miserable things going on for all of them, really.
I know, like they all hate Roger. Jill
Roger.
Jill broke up with her affair partner, and Faith is just like, why doesn't anybody enjoy the fact that I'm in love?
Ed didn't win the woman.
No, Ed didn't get the girl he wanted.
Mm-hmm. So Faith and Roger talk, and she says that he deserves Cole because she does not like him, and he's a bad boy. Jill arrives.
She's perfect. She's really perfect. She deserves that, like to tell somebody else that they're horrible.
Jill arrives. Faith tells them about her stalker. Ed comes in. Roger begs Ed not to tell Seneca about his gambling. But we all know how that's going to go. Next episode. Mary gives Jack a sweater and electric typewriter eraser. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't remember having an eraser for a typewriter thing.
Yeah, there was erasers.
And he got her emerald earrings. I think they have such good chemistry. I really like them together. I know you don't, but I do.
I don't like them together at all. I hate when they're on together.
They make out and they're cute. Yay. Mary and Jack go to the Ryans' Christmas. Faith and Ed arrive. They all drink eggnog and they sing some songs. I would have drank that eggnog.
Yeah, it looked good.
It did look good. Next episode, Jill writes a letter to Frank. Mary brings Frank to PT, and Delia comes along after. And she's like, why didn't you wait for me? Mary's like pushing Frank to walk again, and Delia's like,
you know what? Why is Mary doing this and not a nurse or like an employee, like a physical therapist? Why is it just Mary pushing him to do this?
Well, Mary said that she was going to do it a while ago. They talked about that in those episodes when
I know, but she's not a medical professional, so
it doesn't make sense to me either. I don't get it, but maybe that's what they let you do in 1975. I don't know. Saves them money.
I think it's the same as like remember like when Luke couldn't walk on General Hospital, and like they do basically the same thing where they just bully you. The tough love in the 70s and 80s is absolutely ridiculous. If you believe you can walk even though you have nerve damage, you can walk, damn it.
You can walk, damn it.
It's so weird.
Yeah. And her and Delia kind of go at it along the ways. He's like, I can't. And she's like, he doesn't want to do it. And he's like, I saw whatever. And then whatever. He ends up doing it. And then they all go home.
I just feel like Delia is too overcautious and Mary is too undercautious. And he could have been injured worse by Mary pushing him. Like that could have damaged his spine worse if his body wasn't ready for it. So like I don't know. It just seems stupid not to have like a nurse or a doctor or a physical therapist there. And they're just like, no, you can just get up and roam around with your whole broken ass back. Go for it.
Yeah, it's very weird. Nell and Kenneth are on. Nell goes back to work and they have an interesting conversation. What did you do over the holiday, Kenneth? Visited my crazy mother in the mental institution.
Not only that, he did keep her plants alive, which was nice of him.
He's good with plants.
Not people.
Not with female blondes.
I know. I was a little afraid he was going to fixate on Nell too, because she's a blonde as well. And like, he was so bizarre about every blonde he's run, like Delia and Faith. Like so far, every blonde he's met, he's gotten really weird about.
Every blonde is in danger.
But I think with Nell, maybe it's like more like he admires her like his mother. And with the younger blondes, it's like he admires them like his mother, but he also wants to skin them and make lamps. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's the vibe.
Totally. It's true. Ed arrives and he's surprised that Nell's back. And he acts kind of like Seneca. He's like, what are you doing back? You shouldn't be back, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Delia and Mary argue over Frank's PT. Joe puts the letter in Frank's jacket. Ed goes to Seneca about Nell. Seneca says Nell makes her own decisions. Like, she can do what she wants. I'm like, where did this Seneca come from?
Who are you, Seneca, you weirdo?
And Ed, yeah, they switched places. It's weird.
He was funny, though, because he was like, don't you think I tried to talk her out of it? That went poorly. Like, she's going to do what she wants to do.
He's letting her do her thing. I like it. That's why I said that's the way I would accept Seneca again if he did.
I don't know. I don't feel like it feels really weird and like a weird turnaround from how he was behaving when he was initially introduced. So I don't know about it.
I think he's learning to accept Nell, and she's dying, so he's probably letting her do what she wants. He probably wouldn't have if that was not the case.
I know. That's why she ran away, because why would you want to be married to somebody who doesn't let you do anything? That's lame.
So Seneca and Nell talk, and they kiss. Delia talks to Frank about him looking around at the hospital like he was looking for somebody. He's like, we were looking for Jill, weren't you?
He was.
And then Delia finds the letter in his jacket, and he jumps for it and falls to the floor. Give me that letter. Give me that letter. Next episode, Frank and Delia fight over Jill's letter. She reads it, and it basically just says, stay away from me, don't contact me again, which kind of leads Delia to like,
oh, what'd you do? You called her? You reached out to her? Because this is her telling you to knock it off. Like, that's terrible. But also, I kind of love, because you were saying, like, you don't want her to be with someone she hates, but I think that someone that hates her, but I think she likes torturing him. Like, I feel like a lot of this is revenge. That whole scene was vengeance for her. She was really cruel.
It was, but... Yeah.
And he was really pathetic.
It was, but at the same time, she really wants him to love her, and this ain't the way to do it, girl.
I'm not saying it's healthy, because it isn't. I'm just saying that it was funny.
It's definitely fun to watch. It's very entertaining, for sure.
Oh my God, when she was reading the letter to him, and he's like, that's my private letter. I'm like, yeah, you don't get private letters, you cheater. You don't get that.
No letter.
You divorce the girl, or you don't get your privacy back. Come on, man. Jill
and Roger fight about Ed telling Seneca there's a morals clause in his contract, so he can't get rid of him sooner if he wanted to. Seneca talks to Roger. He's like, you blackmailed, you stole money. Like, it's unacceptable, dude. Like, basically says he can run out his contract, which is nice, because he could have let him go now.
Yeah, he could have dropped him immediately.
I'm surprised he didn't, because he's mad.
And maybe he doesn't want to draw attention to him. Like, he might be like, he knows it's a scandal, but as long as they don't draw too much attention to it, it won't be a big thing for the hospital. So, like, if he just runs his contract out, then he doesn't renew him. It just looks like his contract ran out.
Right.
So instead of we fired him in a big scandal, and then everybody's looking at the hospital.
So he has 6 months left. So we'll see if he can turn around somehow. Delia goes to see Jill. She returns the letter. She's like, oh, you know, we were close. You didn't know me and Frank were so close. He gave me the letter. And she thanks Jill for leaving him alone. She's like, poor Jill. And then she basically says, I wish you misery. You'll never come home to anyone. You'll think of me and Frank together in bed. I like that Jill's able to stand up for herself, because she does. Because she's like, you know what? Enough, dude. So she's like, I'll leave him alone, but I'm doing it for him. She knows that Frank didn't give her the letter. And then Delia's like, oh, yes, he did. It's fun. And then I was curious about Delia bumping into Roger, too, because I'm like, I do remember.
They have chemistry. They have chemistry.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know how I feel about this, though. If they do get together, I think it would be weird. I feel like they'd be good, like, schemers together.
Yeah, but it's also the two, they do this a lot. It's like the two pariahs in town, like being the only two that can understand each other, and then they get closer.
Right.
But I don't know. I think it was more like Roger is so used to everyone being mean to him because of his moral failings, i.e. addiction, that Delia being just normal and nice to him was like comforting. Yeah. And also Delia is used to the family treating her like she's mentally incompetent and stupid and a child. And Roger talks to her like a regular person. So I think they both were having what we would call a normal person conversation.
Yeah.
And I think they both enjoyed that.
Yeah, and they talk about his issues. Of course, not really hers. But I guess he doesn't really know. I mean, she hasn't done anything really, but he's done a lot of bad things. And she says she
She's
feels
smart
sorry.
enough not to tell anybody what she's done.
Yeah, and she says she feels sorry for him.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that he doesn't like. She's like, you don't like Jill. You did this against her. He's like, I didn't do it against her. Like, I love Jill, but I just had no choice. I mean, I'm gonna fuck up my hands. I need my hands.
I love how everybody's like, no, you should never have told anyone. Yeah, but his hands would have been broken and the rest of his life would have been ruined for a guy who was cheating on his wife. And he could have just left politics. Like, I don't know. It was one career versus the other, but on one hand, it was going to be like so much more damage. Like Roger, I don't know. I'm on Roger's side. I don't like Frank. It's fine.
Well, there's really no side to be on with Frank versus Roger, though.
Well, because of how everybody reacts to it. Like, he didn't tell on Frank and Jill because he wanted to. He told on them because they were beating him up and threatening to kill him. Right. And everyone's just like, yeah, well, you should have died. Because it's really how it just keeps coming across.
Death. Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I'm like, so the Ryans are going to have a big New Year's party. I'm guessing that Kenneth is going to be acting a fool. He's going to get somebody at the New Year's party. I feel it.
You feel it
coming? Faith or Delia for a minute, and he's going to snatch them.
Is he going to just snatch a bunch of blondes? And then his whole weird basement with its gas lighting is going to have like be full of pretty blondes.
Yeah, what if he does kidnap a couple of them? He might, but I'm nervous.
It was weird when he gave her the mirror. Like, it's like obviously chosen one, Faith. But like he gave her the mirror, it was immediately broken. How's he going to react to that when he finds out the mirror was broken? Because he'll probably find out with them talking around the hospital about it. I shudder to think what's going to happen at that point.
Yeah, what is going to... I don't know. I didn't even think of that. Like, he might have a reaction to that.
Because it was his mother's, and she's the most important person in the world to him. And he gave that as a token of love, and it was ruined. He might feel rejected. It might be a bad thing.
Yeah, I really don't expect to like, I don't know what to expect for 1976. I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm excited to see more for sure. They're doing a killer job. Kenneth makes me nervous.
He does. He makes me nervous too. He's unpredictable. I don't know what to do with him.
Don't know what's going to happen with Nell still. You still think she's going to die?
Yeah.
Like when?
Soon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think she's going to last the full 6 months.
I
think she has that impending sense of doom, and that's why she's pushing so hard to get the pieces of work she wants done. I think it's because she has that impending sense of doom that you get when you're going to. And she's also playing it way too happy. Like she's completely ignoring the reality of her situation right now, especially when she talks about the future and how they're going to go on these trips and do all these things. And she knows she's never going to get to do any of those things. So I guess she's just kind of lying to everybody to calm them down so she can keep doing what she wants.
What do you think's next for Jill? Like right now, she's just single, ready to mingle.
I think her storyline is going to continue to be entangled in whatever Frank is doing because she doesn't seem to be able to give him up, even though she did. But like the letter is kind of like, I'm letting you go, but blah, blah. I don't know. It just feels like that's not done yet because Frank doesn't want it to be over. And he made the wrong choice. He chose his career over the woman he was in love with. And now he feels trapped in the decision he made. So I think it's going to be more of him learning how to walk and getting back on his feet and being in the political job and maybe realizing it's not what he wants at all. The divorce has to happen. They can't stay together forever. That's crazy.
But a scandal to the Ryans, we can't have that.
They're all hoes as far as I'm concerned.
And then Nick Szabo. I wonder if he'll come around again and try to do some mess.
Every time he's on, I'm like, ooh, Harry Silva from General Hospital.
He hasn't been on for a long time, since I would say like around Thanksgiving. Before then.
It's funny, I was watching, I think it was Grey's Anatomy in the first season, and he was on there, Nick Szabo.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was a patient in the hospital with Parkinson's disease.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like...
In the 70s now.
Yeah. Yeah,
Shit.
he's an older guy.
Although the first season of Grey's was 2005 though, so
Yeah.
that's a long time ago.
It's not a great show. I don't know. I'm giving it a shot because I watched all of ER. But I do like seeing like the cameos. I was like, I need another medical drama. Everybody loves this show. It's so fluff compared to the grittiness of even St. Elsewhere. Like it's just like the medical stuff is terrible.
It's definitely different for sure. I know people like the fluff of it though. I think that's why it's still around.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't exactly what I expected, you know, because like ER had like doctors on set and they had medical professionals helping them every step of the way, so things looked accurate. And I think on Grey's Anatomy, they've said that like they were going to amputate someone's foot and then switch to the other foot with no.
What do you think is going to happen with Roger? Do you think he'll try to turn around so he doesn't get kicked out of the hospital?
I think Roger's on a downward spiral, so I think he's going to keep thinking
he'll get worse before he gets better.
Yeah, I think he's going to keep thinking, if I could get all the money and give it all back, then there's no theft. Then there's no reason to drop me off if everybody's paid off and there's no theft. Because his logic seems to be, if I just gamble a little bit more, things will get better, because he has a problem. Because remember, he got all that money, he got all his debts cleared and went right back to gambling because he thought he could get more money gambling faster to pay off Frank. And Frank was dumb because he tried to give Frank a partial payment of the money and Frank refused to accept it. He didn't think it was a good look. And then, of course, he used that money to gamble more and lost more money.
I don't know how Roger's not making money as a doctor. Like,
he's spending it. He probably gets his paycheck, he pays his bills, and then he goes gambling. Like, he plays the horses like every day. He's crazy.
I don't know, but I look forward to more. So we'll bring you some more next time. Thanks for joining us with Ryan Soap. Follow us on all the socials. Let us know what you thought of Ryan Soap. I can't wait to see 1970, or I guess we're gonna have the week between.
Right.
1975
it was a fun Christmas. I have to say, it like wasn't overbearingly Christmas. It was really cute and very classic. I enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah, it was like perfect.
Yeah, as a retail employee, I don't enjoy Christmas. Not that I am anymore, but I used to do a lot of retail, and you hate Christmas after a while.
Thank you, and until next time.
Yeah.
Oh, my big fat hand.